the sports leader.
Mr. Jones and me tell each other fairy tales and we stare through beautiful women.
My guys.
Number 84, number one in your hearts. Our favorite tight end, Brent Jones. Hello, Brent.
Thomas, what the hell is going on? I had no idea KNBR had a salary cap.
You do now.
Well, I guess so. And how about Copes lapping it up on his rookie deal, looking like Brock Purdy, freaking like barely a drop in the bucket, and then like, and what the hell? I'm looking across the board and I see Murph in the morning. You talk about a dead man walking, like I'm gonna start calling him Deshaun Murphy.
Jeez, you like went sideswiping. You're like one of those.
Hey, I came in hot, baby.
You did come in hot. You did come in hot. I do got to remind you though, because I don't know if you remember this. We used to play, because you've been doing this forever now, forever.
Yeah, forever.
And we used to play Sunday, Bloody Sunday, on Mondays when we talked. Like that was our intro song, and the reason it was our intro song was because the Niners were so bad. That it was just so Sunday. Bad. It was Sunday, Bloody Sunday. And I remember Bob Sargent, who was a good friend of mine and does great stuff with, I mean, he's a great dude. He really is. And he works with the Niners, and he would text me, Tommy, can you not play that song? Could you anything but that song? And I go, well, all you got to do is win. You win, I can stop playing the song. Guess what? Haven't played that song recently. It hasn't popped up until today, but that was always a funny kind of sidebar to the story that no one really, I don't think, picked up on. But yeah, those were lean times, weren't they? Talking 49er football.
Man, those were lean times. In fact, I go back to maybe it was 2000, 2001. You were on the Tom Tolbert NBA tour, and
I was.
Ralphie asked me to come in and host Mondays, and I'm like, oh, this is so easy. Like, this would be so much fun. And, man, I used to have to prep, know everything, no baseball, no basketball. Now, I did to a pretty good extent, but I realized, holy crap, Tom Tolbert knows what he's talking about, because you can talk about any sport. And I remember 4 hours of sitting there with Ralph and going, like, you could have anybody on. And it was like, I better know what I'm talking about or I'm going to get roasted. And so, golly sakes, those are back in the day. But, Tom, you know what I think about is there are very, very few people in the audience that were there from your get-go. Now, I was still playing. So after practice at 5 o'clock, I'd be driving home my last couple years to Danville back before there was traffic, and listening to you guys, and I remember just laughing and going, this guy is like a wild colt, and he has outrageous takes, and they might have to bleep every fourth or fifth word, and I was like, holy cow, like this guy Tolbert is hilarious, but how is he gonna make it? And now we're here 28 years later.
28 years later.
I mean, dude, that's unbelievable. And I have to say, I felt so bad this morning because I ran into the Cumulus guys last week, and I said, we got to fire the special teams coach. And I don't know how they misconstrued that to think it was you instead. I don't know if you've been running the special teams, but
you know what? Maybe I have. I never really considered that. I tell my kickers, see those two yellow things? Put it between them. Just put it between the yellow things, and you'll be fine. We'll all be fine. We'll all keep our jobs. So. Apparently it didn't work out for me. But, I love doing this, love having you on. It would have been sweet after you retired If you would have brought me in on some of that venture capitalist stuff, that'd have been really, really cool. But you didn't. We went different ways, and we ended up meeting up.
You know what? I kind of knew you, but I didn't really. We didn't have that deep bond like we have now.
And plus, you listen to me on the radio. You're like, hell no, would I ever bring this guy into something serious?
he could disrupt a business meeting at this point.
It wouldn't be good for us. It would not be good for us. Was that your last year? Because I think my first year was 96. Was that your last year?
Yeah, so I played 97 too, but
okay.
I'd be driving home listening to you and Ralphie, and those are voices that just give you comfort. And it's funny because I was thinking about like who are the radio voices that have given me like that, hey, I'm at home, comfortable feeling over the years. And I was blessed. I grew up with Lon Simmons, Monty Moore, Bill King. And then I came into, of course, Ralph. And you know what? Man, he'd be laughing if he was here talking about his razor voice being comfortable. But you know exactly what I mean. And then Kruk and Kipe, Gary Radnich, and you. And it's amazing how many years I just listen to you. I can just listen to you drone on about anything. It can be silly. It can be wrestling. It can be, Giants baseball. It could be Niners. It could be everyday life. It could be anything. And it's just, it'll be weird to not hear your voice. I've had hundreds of texts from friends saying, what the heck? How is this happening? Like, this is like, I drive home every day listening to Tommy, and I'm like, man, I don't know.
Well, you know what I thought about doing? I thought about setting up some lawn chairs on the lawn, and just
perfect
and sitting on the porch. And
work for food?
Doing like a little hour thing for everybody out there.
Oh, I thought it will work for food.
No, I'm okay with the food.
Okay, just checking.
But I mean, if people want to be giving, I mean, I'll take a burrito. You want to bring a burrito? You can just throw it at me at the stage.
Nothing on
the porch. Nothing on it. We're just good to go.
Yeah, I poor Copes. I mean, Copes, this has got to be sucking being at work today. But Tommy swore to me he didn't want anything sentimental, or he was flying to Texas to throw a beat down on me.
I will meet you there. In fact, I won't even do that. I'll do something that's worse. I'll play this for you. One of my favorite sound bites of you being on the air with us. Go ahead.
Near the end zone, around the 3-yard line, it looked to be, in fact, it ended up being a dildo.
Oh, lovely.
We play that all the time, Brent. Lovely.
Lovely.
You had me tongue-tied on that one. Did not know where to go with it.
I don't know, Brent. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure there is a place to go with that. I don't know. There's like no natural segue from dildo to something else. Like it doesn't. I don't know that it exists. So I think your response was the absolute proper response.
I know it made you laugh.
Lovely.
Oh man, that was good stuff. That was good stuff.
So I'm thinking you got a couple of buddies. Maybe you throw Youngster and me into a podcast.
Yep.
And we could call it the What's Up Bro podcast. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? Bro.
There'd be a lot of bros going down.
Yeah, I think Steve's gonna want to incorporate BYU in there somewhere since they haven't lost a game.
Yeah. The other thing is he'd be showing up late for the podcast constantly.
What's the great thing about the podcast, Brent? You can do it whenever you want to.
Well, yeah, but you and I'd be sitting there. We'd be the ones.
That's a good point.
Waiting on.
That's a good point. Although we just have him show up and then we'd come in later. Is what we would do.
That's not a bad idea. I was thinking about it. I was like, this could be good. And then I thought, well, what else can we name it? And I came up with a kind of a funny name. At least I thought it was funny. It's called Ball Players, Dude. And I was like, why did I come up with that? Well, there was a guy. You remember Jeff Briegel? He was a first-round draft choice, I think.
Briegel.
or maybe he was at the second round. He was a lineman from USC like in 86, 87. And all a couple of the linemen, defensive linemen in Briel went out to some bars, and they got a little overserved, and they were fighting or doing something, and the cops had him on the ground. They're putting cuffs on him, and he was yelling out, "Ball player, dude!" Ball player, dude. Like that's get out of jail free.
Yeah.
So what a perfect name for a podcast. Ball player, dude.
Well, look, here's the deal. Because that story lands a lot better when you know the backstory.
Yeah.
Like ball player, dude, I was like, I'm not quite getting it. But when
it's like ball player,
say it,
comma,
then it's
dude.
amazing. Yeah, then it's like amazing. Because I can't believe that guy was like yelling ball player, dude. Like, okay. You're good then. You're absolutely good. Go ahead.
Oh, here's a free pass.
Play guard. Yeah.
Oh, man. That is hilarious. Well, we might as well squeeze in at least one Niner-related question. Just kind of your thoughts on escaping. It felt very similar to other games that they've lost this year, where they've dominated yards per play. I mean, they were like plus 3.1 yards per play differential, and still managed to find a way to only win by 3 on the last second. I know it's the NFL. Pro sports is really hard to win. NFL is really hard to win on the road, 10 o'clock start time. But it was very reminiscent of the Arizona game and the Rams game, where like you knew they were the better team, and they lost both of those. I'll give them credit for finding a way to win, but this seems like it's got to stop, right? Like at some point, when you outgain somebody 400 to 250 or 400 to 220, you got to start winning those games like 35 to 13, where it's like the score looks like the box score.
Yeah, they really have to learn to put guys away, put teams away when they're up and they got them on the ropes. And so what you got to do is when you got a guy on the ropes, you got to step on his neck. Like Humorous. So
Stop.
You got to just finish the deal.
Yeah. Well, they finished it all right.
Yeah. Wow.
You're too much.
That was horrible. Who's writing my jokes? Like, what the heck?
You got any more?
Well, not Cumulus.
Is this the Tom Brady roast? What
Jesus.
the heck? No, bro. But I gotta say, yeah, I'm hopeful for the Niners, and one thing I know, and I'm gonna be a little sentimental. You've been a stud. You've been a loyal friend to so many guys. You've got so many fans and so many listeners, and I know that you're gonna be pissed, and I'm doing this, but you and Lori have raised an awesome family. You're a Bay Area legend, and bro, I'd say I'm going to miss you, but I know I'm going to talk to you all the time. Yes. But it'll be weird listening to you on whatever superstar podcast you are. Hopefully you get a Kelsey deal. I know Copes is going to be lonely. Might have to keep him company every now and then. But you know what, buddy? I appreciate you. Yep. You've been a freaking stalwart. Who would have thought 28 years ago, the Wild Colt would be the last man standing? The odds of that are 1 in a trillion.
No, I went from the Wild Colt to Cumulus taking me out and putting a shotgun to my head.
Oh, glue factory.
And that was pretty much it. Man, you know what? That's a good run, though. Right. That's a great run. Because in the meantime, before I got the shotgun, I'd like to think I won a couple of Triple Crown races, brought in some money. There was maybe a 7 or 8 year block there where I was on a stud farm, and I was having an incredible time for like 7 or 8 years. And then after that, as a horse, you're just like, what else is there? Like I'm like good to go. So no, I love you. It's been so much fun having you on. It's been a blast. And yes, absolutely, we will keep in touch. And don't think you're sneaky, by the way. Just go ahead and weave that. Let me ask you about the Niners and weave that right back into the, like, it wasn't even subtle. You just like, okay, we're done with this. But
it wasn't that subtle, but I've got a few subtle things left in my holster right now. So I have to say, I've got something teed up. This guy had you pegged right from the very beginning.
You dumb bastard.
And
He knew
you
it.
know, I love that. I say that to some of my buddies all the time, and it's like it
dumb
never
bastard.
gets old. It
really does.
Never. Nelly is the best. And then last but not least, this guy loved you like a son, and you know it. I'm going to sign off with these comments.
Angels fly because they take themselves lightly. This is KMBR, the sports leader.
Fantastic. Love that guy.
Love you,
Miss that
buddy.
guy. Love you, buddy.
See you, Brent.
I'll talk to you
All
soon,
right.
Brent.
Take care, guys.
All right, man. Have a good one.